Heat by 3 games. Milwaukee is also 3 out, with the Bulls only a half game behind them. Rough patch of basketball lately for the Bulls, and it will not get any easier. They have the second toughest schedule in the league, according to ESPN's Basketball Power Index. Tim Legler back with us to sort out this loaded Eastern Conference. Tim, Chicago versus Philly, a showdown of 2 of the top teams in the East. Who do you have as the best team in the Eastern Conference?
Jay, I'm going to give Philly the top ceiling, and the reason is because this is such a unique pairing. We've never really seen anything quite like this. I mean, James Harden, with the scoring run he went on in Houston and how he's able to dominate a game by just physically really overwhelming you, paired up now with the most dominant scoring big in the game, Joel Embiid. You look at historically what these guys do and the way they control the lane at the foul line. Each of them for their career, 7.5 made free throws per game. Jay, that would be the top 2 in the last 50 years in this league in made free throws per game. So they don't just get there, they actually convert. And that's a big deal because now you're controlling the game. You're controlling tempo. You're giving your team a chance to play half-court defense a lot. You're putting your team in the early penalty in quarters because it takes multiple guys to guard both of them. So I'm going to say the ceiling of these 2 guys, the way they've looked early and how quickly they've meshed, I'll put Philly as the team that I think intrigues me the most right now as coming out of the East.
Okay, that's a good answer, but the folks in Boston are like, hey, didn't you see our team play yesterday? Don't you know that we won 14 of our past 16 games? So how could the Boston Celtics, Tim, factor into the East come playoff time?
Well, this conversation just got deeper, the list, because I had 4 teams I thought one of those teams was going to come out of the Eastern Conference. Well, you could add Boston out to the mix, and I'm also including Brooklyn, by the way. And you're talking about a play-in team right now in Brooklyn, but clearly KD's back. They're going to get Simmons at some point. When I look at the Celtics, Jason Tatum right now is playing exactly the way he did 2 years ago before the league shut down because of COVID. At that time, he was the best offensive player in the league for about a month straight. He is now ramping it up to that level. The thing I love about him, he's added counter moves so that you can't just take away the first one. He now will counter great defense and still figure out a way to get to his number. Their defensive numbers have been off the charts. You can see it right there. I also, Jay, love the new additions. I think that they have gone out, made their team deeper and smarter. When you bring in an Al Horford, Tice coming back to Boston is a perfect fit for what they do. And then Derek White picking him up at the trading deadline. So I just think they're smarter, they're deeper. And the way Tatum is playing, and Brown actually most nights, they're clicking with Ime Udoka. This is now a team you've got to include when you look at the Eastern Conference title contenders. And I think Boston right now is pretty tantalizing with what they've done lately. And headed down the stretch, this is going to be a wild run in the Eastern Conference playoffs.
Tim, in the 6 games since the All-Star break, Jason Tatum is averaging 34 points a game with 4 30-point games. You're right, he is rounding into form nicely. Tim Legler, thank you, brother.
You got it.
All right, guys, still ahead as Aaron Rodgers' decision continues to grip the NFL. We shift our attention to Joe Burrow and his protection issues, why Cincy should take a page in Kansas City's playbook. Plus, if the Cowboys let Amari Cooper go, or the star receiver should grin and bear it when it comes to reviewing his options. And we have some news just in from the Browns that may affect Baker Mayfield.